going on, you guys? It's your boy Alex West Collects here, bringing you another figure review. And today we have the Super 7 Ultimate Major Pod Wrestling figures. We have Brian Myers and Matt Cardona. So I begrudgingly order these from Entertainment Earth because they seem to get them in stock first. And every time I order from them, they take forever to ship. I get their shipping delays and everything fine. But they got it out after a few days, and I swear to God, they used the cheapest, slowest shipping method ever. And it took almost 2 weeks for them to get here. But needless to say, they did pack them really safe and secure, so I can't complain there just like every time. I remember I ordered that Mr. T from them for San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, and it took forever. I mean, if Ringside had them first, I definitely would have jumped on them. But I'll be honest, I was really excited to get these in hand and could not wait. So I don't know, these two are local guys. I'm from New York, and you know, Brian Myers actually lived in Bayside, Queens for a while. That's where I was born and raised, so I'm very familiar with the area. I've definitely seen him at the Wrestling Universe from time to time. I've seen him at Bayside Powerhouse Gym. I just always seemed like a really chill, cool guy. You know, I've talked to him on Instagram here and there. So, big fan of him. Matt Cardona, too. I feel like another guy I've run into, not intentionally, on the island. I've seen him, like, at the mall. I've seen him at a different restaurant multiple times with his family. I actually ran into him at the gym one time. You know, I'll be honest, I don't run up to these guys and say, hey, whatever. I'm not a fanboy. You know, I feel like they're probably busy with their daily lives. It's just cool to see them. You know, just seem like everyday normal guys. And, you know, I really appreciate that. You know, they're down to earth as even with all the success they've had. And it's funny, Matt's dad actually works out in my gym, Bev's Powerhouse Gym in Syosset, New York. And I remember coming in there one time wearing the Major Pod shirt, and he really popped. And he's like, oh, yeah, Matt was here a few days ago. I was like, oh, yeah, I saw you guys went to the diner or whatever when he posts on his stories. He goes, yeah, and that cheap bastard didn't even bother to pick up the bill. So Bob is always a pleasure to talk to. But you know what? Like I said, I've been a big fan of both these guys since the pod started. I've honestly have listened to every single episode. And you know, it's nice to have different content, and it's nice to talk figures or just hear things about figures. I feel like they've definitely, you know, brought some different eyes to the table as far as the collecting community. I mean, it was always known that both these guys were kind of figure collectors. And I'll be honest, I feel like these guys really do work hard, and sometimes they get a lot of hate, and I don't get it. I mean, if you're a fan of the pod, you know, you get called a fanboy, but if you're not a fan of the pod, you're called a hater. And I don't know, you know, me personally, I don't deal with any of the negativity. You know, I get it as an influencer too, and I don't really talk to it much, but there's a lot of haters out there sometimes. It's like, listen, this is a lot of work. I don't know if you guys understand, like, you know, I'll be honest, like, posting consistently and, you know, doing video reviews and all this stuff, it's not that easy. It is very time consuming. I mean, I work a full-time job. I have a family, so this is time I take out of my day. And believe me, I'm not making a lot of money doing any of this. This is just my passion that I like to share with you guys. So, I mean, I know they're doing tons of stuff, you know, selling merch, but they're also wrestling. They got families. So I never understood the negativity in this community. I feel like let's just all come together and be positive, support each other. I mean, we could all do great things. But anyways, enough of that rant. Let's get to the figures themselves. So I did review the New Japan Super 7 figures, and I'll be honest, I was not a fan of those. I did an in-depth review. Some of the figures just looked weird. The articulation was weird. But I will say one thing I really did like about those figures was the packaging. And I feel like the Major Pod figures really follow that same suit. So you do get the brown kind of shipper box that comes in. You got Brian Myers on the front, Matt Cardona on his. Nothing on the sides. Got the Super 7 logos and stuff on the back. And it looks like it opens up on the side. So let's start off with Brian Myers. And we'll gently open this box so we don't rip it. So there's a tab here on the side. Folds out. Removing it. Here is the Brian Myers box. You can see it has a nice kind of bag around it to keep it even more secure. And let's open the same for Matt Cardona's box. And you know, they do a real good job with this packaging. I mean, I get it's a premium figure and that stuff, but I don't know if it's overkill sometimes. You know, I guess you can't complain. I don't know. My concern is how much does this add to the cost? Do they really need, like, all these boxes and stuff? I don't know. It's just, these figures are a little pricey, so that's kind of what's playing into my mind. But you can see Matt Cardona, same thing. We will remove the bag as well. Taped really nice here. I'm just going to Hulk it up, rip it. We'll remove it from the bag. And that looks really nice. Look how premium these figures look. As far as the boxes, anyway. We haven't even gotten to the figures yet, but let's open this bag. Okay. And we will remove it. So there you go on the front. You got the major pod belts. You got the nice electricity or whatever that's supposed to be on the front with the colors to each guy's gear. The Major Pod Wrestling Figure Podcast logo on the side. Scratch that figure itch. And the belt wraps around on the back. Turn it around so you guys can see that. Has Ultimates up there. On the bottom, UPCs and the Super 7 logo. Really premium, really nice. Let's see how the back opens up, because I do not want to rip this. And of course, I already did. Sorry, I had to do that off camera because I was starting to rip it a little bit, but that was kind of a pain in the ass. So the belt kind of slaps on like that, and you got to pull it up. So be a little careful if you are a completist of the boxes. I mean, I'm going to keep these figures loose anyway, but you can see the belts come off. Check out the other one from Matt Cardona. Same thing, just different colors. And that reveals the logos on the front. And where do we open these from? So I guess the box slides, it looks like. There we go. So it's a slip box. You pull them out. There is Brian Myers. And we will do the same for Matt Cardona. There they are in the packaging, and that's what I'm saying. There's a lot involved with just the packaging, and that makes this a very premium figure. You can see, scratch that figure itch. Got the Major Pod logo. Got their names on the front. Look at all the accessories they come with. Got the ring wrapped around it. This is really nice. Got the read up, the images of each wrestler on the side, on the back. Same on the other side. No complaints on the packaging. I think that is a 10 out of 10, honestly. If you're keeping these figures mock, they look pretty awesome, but let's come back and we're going to get these guys out of the box. All right, and here we are with the figures out of the packaging, and we're going to start off with Brian Myers, aka Kurt Hawkins, first. And diving into the accessories, you do get a lot. So you do get this Major Pod microphone. See the decal on all four sides. You also do get a bunch of interchangeable hands, so you get two kind of open gesture hands. You can see they all got the sculpted wrist tape and hand tape on there. Even his fingers got them. That's pretty cool. You get two C-grip hands for the mic holding hands or any type of weapons. You do get quite a few interchangeable heads too, so you get 4 of them. You get a straight face with the Major Pod hat on backwards. That is sculpted on. It is not removable. You get a screaming scan, and you can see the hair sculpt on the back. Additionally, you get the man bun. If you want to do like a street gear or something, backstage before he wrestles. And the mask, I'm going to say, fits on all, probably most of the heads. Maybe not the one with the hat, but it definitely is removable. And you can see the forward scan right there, kind of straight, plain face. And if you want to see the mask, this camera to focus a little bit. Got the Myers logo on there. And we'll bring in another head. This is a screaming scan. Definitely can get it to fit on there too if you wanted to. Get this mask off. He also does come with the dog tags. And you can see the detail. It's really nice. You can see the kind of the outline of the Major Pod logo on there. Definitely is on there nicely. Got the nice kind of beads with the dog tags too. I don't think there's anything on the other side, just a plain black. And if you want to remove that, I'd recommend popping the head off. And why not, while we're at it, let's throw on a different head. Let's go casual. Casual Kurt. Throw on. Oh, that looks pretty good. And we'll get into the head scans as we go on with this review, but let's continue on with the accessories. So he does come with a vest. Very nice detail. Got the logos on here. Got the Brian Myers logo on the back. The hood painted a different color. I do like that. It is made of a nice soft rubber material. And you can remove it. Take a look at the vest off of the figure. Again, very nice. I do like that. Looking at his gear. So you can see the torso. And to me, it looks a little odd. It's just misproportioned. Maybe a little too big. And it's not to say anything about Kurt Hawkins' physique. It's Super 7. It's just how they design their figures. Even the New Japan figures, I mean, they just look very bulky. His chest looks a little too bulky. Look at that. So the proportions to me look a little off. He's got the Myers logo on the front. Really do like that. Like the deco on the side. Continuing on the other side. Plain black. Plain on the back. He's got the orange kick pads. Nice gloss black around it too. I mean, it looks pretty nice. Articulation. Let's do that quick. So you get an ab kind of crunch. There is some waist swivel, and I'll tell you what, mine was really fused. I had to heat it, so be careful. This waist does articulate. And you know what? I don't know if I'm an idiot or what, but I'm going to say those are single-jointed elbows. I don't think there's really any more give than that, which I'm surprised, because for an Ultimate, I'd assume it'd have maybe a double-jointed elbow. You could also see the tattoo of his daughter's name on there. And he's also got that on the other forearm. Madison McKenzie. So single jointed elbows, unfortunately, does go out about that much. Does twist at the bicep as well. Legs, dude, splits pretty good. Takes up about that much. There is no thigh cut. There is no boot cut. But he does have what Super 7 is known for, that wonky articulation at the knee, and I hate it. I know, listen, I watched or listened to the pod where they interviewed the Super 7 guys, and they explained exactly why they did articulation like this. And their reasoning was they want these figures to look like real people and not action figures. And that is why they try to hide articulation where they could. That's why they didn't go with the thigh cut. They didn't like the line showing up here or at the boot. I feel like the boot is one they probably would not be noticeable if they went with it. Personally, it's an action figure. Like, I get you want it to look aesthetically a certain way, and most people probably just put on the shelves, but figure photography is a big thing, and extra articulation is needed. So he does get some good like bend at the knee itself, but I don't know. I'm just not crazy about that. I feel like I'd much rather have just some regular knee articulation instead of the twist. But that is the figure itself. Let's talk about the head scan. So I'll be honest, I don't really, maybe with this scan, a little bit. And I listened to the pod, and the guy said it's more the paint application than the heads themselves, as far as why it may look off a little bit. And I don't think that's the case. I'm sorry. I think it's Super 7. It's just the way they design their figures. And I mean, none of these really look great like Brian Myers. At all. And you know what? Even if you painted it differently, I don't really see it. I feel like the eyes are too close together on this one. Actually, on all of them. If you want to bring the one with the hat in here too. If they do another set of the Major Pod Ultimates, I mean, I don't know. I would assume Super 7 would do better. And I'm sure the Hawkins and Ryder really were on their game and tried to get the most perfect figures they can. So you can't fault them. If anything, I think Super 7 let them down. And I just don't like any of the head scans. They just don't look good. They don't look like him. The proportions on the body are a little off. They're a little too big, a little too bulky. And if you want to see a comparison I got with you, I have an Elite Kurt Hawkins from Mattel. And to me, I clearly see Hawkins right there. I mean, that's obviously an outdated scan with the hair. He's got the longer hair now, but to me, this looks spot on. And I don't think it's even close. And this looks like a guy impersonating him. I love you, Brian, but I mean, it is what it is. Again, like I said, I think that's really just Super 7's kind of design. And if you guys want to remove the vest off of him here, we'll take a look at his deco and his proportions. There we go. I don't really know accurately which is supposed to be, the correct height or scale. Again, this is supposed to be something that would be in scale with the Mattel figures or Jazzwares. I think he's a little tall. I think he's a little too bulky. So I'm not crazy on that. If you want to look at them eye to eye. And the head scan, honestly, could be a lot better. So we'll move on. And I screwed up. I forgot to mention one thing. So another accessory, they do come with little action figures of themselves that they can hold. So that is really nice detail. I mean, look at the back of the vest. Looks exactly like the vest he comes with. That is cool. There's no articulation to it. Just kind of like little figures. But one thing I forgot to mention with it. And if, you know what, while we're at it, let's pop on the other head. So here's a screaming scan. Figured it'd be nice to throw all heads on the body and you can see how it looks. And be a little careful. There you go. That's the head with the head on. And let's move on to Matt Cardona. And next up, we have Matt Cardona, a.k.a. Zack Ryder. And he also does come with quite a few accessories. Comes with the same major pod microphone as Brian Myers. And in case you're wondering, it is a little bigger than standard microphones. Not by much. It's kind of just the box outlay. This is just a generic mic that came with, like, I think it was the ringside, like, announcer table playset. And here's a Mattel one. So I know a lot of people were saying that these looked huge, but it's a little bigger. It's not too much bigger, so I'm not going to complain there. You know, it really does show off the pod decal or logo, so I'm okay with that. That's cool. Other accessories, let's not forget this one. So he comes with the same as Hawkins. He does come with a little action figure of himself. You can see there's not any facial deco on there, but still very nicely done. I do like how the gear actually is visible on this thing. That's pretty cool. Comes with some broski bucks. And I don't know if you guys can see it. It actually does have his face on there. $1,000 broski. Very cool. You get the kind of spread out cash and then just the big padded lope over here with a huge chunk of money. And hands. You get 2 open mic holding hands. Also has the sculpted hand tape. You get 2 fisted hands. And he comes with 4 additional heads. So he's got that straight face head on the figure right there. He's got this smiling scan here. See a nice hair sculpt in there too. He's got the tongue out. And he's got a straight face with the major pod hat. Additionally, he does come with the same dog tags as Brian Myers. And this sweet denim vest with a nice detail. I really like how the vest came on both these figures. They really look really nice, really premium. Some great paint applications. But you know what? My favorite selling point? He's got the LI hands, dude. That is so cool. You know, that to me is worth it, buying this figure alone. We never got that with Mattel. And I'll give a shout out to Cardona. Your heel work right now has been awesome. I've really enjoyed it. I would love to see you maybe come back to WWE down the road and be this awesome heel if they freaking let you, or anywhere else. But you know, you're killing it on the indies right now. So just wanted to say I've really enjoyed that, man. Keep doing your thing. So also got a straight face scan. And, you know, we're going to talk head scan right now. You can see mine's missing a little eye paint. And to be transparent with you guys, I got a figure that was actually defective. The arm kept popping off no matter how much I heated it and put it back in there. But huge shout out to Entertainment Earth for sending me a replacement. No questions asked. I had to send the defective figure back. They sent me a brand new one. No problem. So thank you guys for that. Really made it nice and easy. So sorry if this review is a little delayed because of that. But the figure itself... moving on, you do get the nice actual sculpted wrap around the arm too. And let's remove the vest. We'll continue on to the figure. We'll take a look at the vest too once we get it off. Again, you got always ready. Collar propped up. Even got the buttons on the collar. We got the pockets. Nicely done. I really love how this came out. We'll remove the dog tags. Again, that is the same as Brian Myers. We can look at the actual figure itself. So he's got the chest hair. I do like that. I don't know if it looks like chest hair. To me, it looks a little like cartoony. But that's nitpicking, man. No complaints there. At least they have it. How many times has Mattel skipped out on like AJ Styles chest hair? So I do like that. I love how his trunks came out, man. Like, perfect. These look really nice. And... just to note, it's got a little rubber to it, like a little rubber feel on the side. It's not like the floating crotch piece that you get from, like the, what do you call them, I'm blanking out here, Storm Collectibles figures. But you can see when you bend the leg, there is a little flexibility there for articulation. So I do like that. Take a look at the back. He's got Always Ready. He's got the Matt Cardona logos on the black tape underneath the knee pads. He's got the details on the knee pads. That's really nice. Look at the boots. Got the nice shiny black paint. Got the silver. I really do like how they came out, the sculpted buckles. You can even see the tattoo work underneath on his leg. He's got the 516 Long Island area code tattoo. So I really like how this figure came out. And again, you're going to notice the proportions just like Brian Myers. The chest is a little big. And again, this is the style of Super 7. I think my eyes are just kind of used to Mattel figures. So that's why it looks a little weird. And if you want to bring back Brian Myers, you can see the difference in the chest. I really like to see that kind of reworked. I think it looks more noticeable on Brian Myers. I know maybe he's a little bigger up top, but I don't know. Proportions are what they are. Articulation, same thing. Single jointed elbows. You get the ab crunch, waist swivel, legs go out about that much, kicks out about that much, goes back only that much. He's got the knee bend. Does he got the swivel? I'm guessing he's going to have to. Not much movement to it. Yeah, it's in there. You got the knee swivel as well. The boots do go down. There is ankle rotation. I did not point that out on Brian Myers, but I'm sure it is there too. Solid figure. I mean, I feel like the head scan on Cardona definitely came out better than Myers. Still doesn't look quite right, and I don't think this is his best scan, and we're going to get into that with comparisons. You know what it is with Super 7? Their style and the way they make these figures, they look a little bit like imports to me. You ever see like Mafex or any of those other companies where they're overseas? They got kind of an import feel look when they're with their face scans. I mean, I can see Cardona a lot more than Myers, but something about it just looks like an import figure to me. Doesn't quite look, you know, like, I don't know, something that was made in the USA, I guess to say. I don't know how to say it, but something just looks off. And we're going to go into comparisons right now. So, we have one of my favorite, Elite 17, Zack Ryder. Let's remove the sunglasses. You can see the head scan differentiations. We have my other favorite Elite, Ryder. Let's center them all so you can see them. And to me, this one, I forget what series it is, Elite 50-something, 53, 59. That head scan to me is perfect. I totally see it. But I will say, I think I like the proportions on the Super 7 a little more for him. Here, I think he's too damn skinny. This torso works, but he's kind of got like that no neck syndrome going with this figure. And kind of some skinny arms. So, I don't know. I really like how his gear came out. I really like everything else. If anything I had to point out, I'm not crazy about the head scan. I feel like that's kind of where I'm like, is it as good as the one Mattel did here? I don't think so. I think, to me, this is Ryder to a T. This is how I picture him. I really like how that came out, but could be worse. And quickly, let's throw on each of the interchangeable heads just to compare them with the other Mattel. So we have a smiling scan to the other smiling scans. You have the straight face with the hat. And lastly, we have the head with the tongue out. And just to know, for some reason, this head was a pain in the ass to get on the body. I actually had to heat it, so I don't know why that was. And one thing I also did want to point out was the scale. You can see the Super 7 figure is shorter, which is interesting because Brian Myers is taller than his Elite figure. And I know Zack Ryder is a tall son of a bitch, as The Rock said. But let's wrap up with some final thoughts. And before we wrap up, if you guys haven't already, please make sure to hit that like and subscribe button down below. For all you guys new to the channel, I appreciate you guys checking out this video review. I hope you guys would subscribe for tons of more great content coming up. And for your returning viewers, I appreciate all your continued support. It really does mean a lot. As far as these figures go, I really do like them. Listen, I know they are a little pricey. They are a little more premium than what you would pay for like a Mattel Elite or kind of even something from Jazzwares. But you know what? You do get a ton of accessories. And the figures do look pretty good for the most part. Listen, Brian Myers needs a little work. The proportions I think are a little off. I don't know if he's a little too tall maybe. I do really like how his deco came out on the gear itself. Like from the bottom half down, it looks great. I like the sculpting on his arms and stuff. The tattoos are cool. The head scan was a miss. I hate to say it. I think his chest is a little too big. It's a little too bulky. But I love the vest that came out so good. I do like the little action figure he came with. He comes with a mask, all these interchangeable heads. So that is pretty cool. Cardona, I think I want to say, is the better figure out of the two. But it doesn't make sense to buy one without the other. I feel like these guys are a package deal. There's no way I would have bought Cardona and not Myers. So, you know, Cardona looks good. The scans could be a little better. Definitely not his best head scans. I think Mattel from the prior Elites are better. You know, but his gear looks pretty damn good. I mean, I've seen him wrestle in this gear at one of the toy fairs, and I'm going to say that looked pretty accurate to exactly what he wore that night. The boots look great. I love the paint decals on, the paint deco on there. I really like the details on the knee pads. His trunks look really good. So all in all, I don't think you really could complain there. It could be better, and I feel like maybe Super 7 kind of let the guys down. I don't think this is on Myers or Cardona. I feel like I'm sure they put 100% effort and really try to get the best possible figures out there. Sometimes it just is what it is. I mean, this is kind of how the toy industry works. You have one image in your mind, and you don't always quite reach it. But, you know, this is a stepping stone, and this is a big deal. These guys were released from WWE. They found a way to get some more action figures made when Mattel wouldn't make any more of them. So, you know, I think this is pretty badass. I think it's cool. I mean, I'm going to continue to support these guys. They do some great things, and they bring a lot of positive stuff to the community. So, thank you guys for that. And you know what? These figures will be in stock at Ringside Collectibles. They should be coming in early February. Use promo code 4LIFE to save 10% off your order. Stay tuned for some still photos at the end of this video. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram at AlexWestCollects. I appreciate all you guys checking this video. I'll catch you guys on the next one.